Good morning, church. Today we're in 2 Samuel chapter 24, last chapter of the book. And it's an interesting chapter, to say the least. In the very first verse, it says, "And again the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, 'Go, number Israel and Judah.'" It's interesting to read that God moved David against them. Our God is sovereign. He's in complete control. And at some point, God's people had upset him again through their disobedience, through their disbelief, whatever it was. God had moved David. But it's also interesting to note that this same story is found in 1 Chronicles chapter 21, verse 1. And listen to how it starts. "Now Satan stood up against Israel and moved David to number Israel." Same story, different book. Where else have we heard how God has used Satan to attack others, or to allow Satan to deceive or manipulate others, or to hurt others? How about the book of Job? You can read it in Job chapter 1, verses 6 through 12, where God allowed Satan to attack Job and his household there. You remember the story. God is sovereign. He is in control. As we read chapter 24, we find out that 70,000 people died because of David's sin to number the people. I'm not 100% sure why it was so wrong to number the people, unless it was a pride issue. But whatever it was some heavy consequences. So if you think for a minute that your sin does not affect others, study this book, study this chapter, for it most certainly does. 70,000 people were affected because of this sin. It's a strong punishment, to say the least. But God is completely in control, and he moved and allowed Satan to tempt David to do this because of his anger, because of Israel's disobedience. Consequences to sin are very real, and they do affect others. God bless as you study.